So what happens if I take a job because I need a job, and I like about a little bit of the job, but I'm desperate, right? And so I'm spending a lot of my time in the 30, I'm over there. It's not 30 anymore, it's bad. You kind of just heaved.
No, it's
bad,
interesting
right?
statistic.
Yeah. This, for me, has completely changed what I'm doing with my business. So I've had my business, for, as I said, for over 25 years. I had a virtual assistant. I've hired, I've expanded when I needed to. Once the economy did its thing in 2008, I kind of cleared the decks because everybody turned training and the kinds of things that I do off. But as it has built back, right, especially this year, as it has built back, it has become an experience of understanding every minute, I don't have the skills for this. Oh my God, I do not know how to create that kind of proposal. I don't know how to create something that actually builds in my administrative support, right, and all that. So I will just share with you that now I have a staff. I have someone named Jennifer who's in Dubai. That's a 12-hour time difference. So Jennifer and I talk at 9 o'clock in the evening her time and 9 a.m. my time. Jennifer I met at a retreat in September. I sat next to her, we talked. I could see this light in her eye for one thing, which was project management, right? And I said to Jennifer, I have this hothouse brain and I have these ideas and I just can't really bake them, but I need to throw them. And she said, I love it. I love people to just fling all the bits at me because that's what I like to do. You don't find a job description like that, right? And ever since September, Jennifer has been sitting on the other side, receiving and helping me prepare presentations. I'm not asking Jennifer to do things that are out of her strength area, really. She's just kind of showing me what that is. I have another friend who is an editor. She's worked for a number of publishing houses, right, in editing. Well, I was a journalism major who's not writing. And that's not making me happy, right? So I'm bartering services and bartering coaching with her. But Mary's work with me is in Mary's sweet spot, exactly where she wants to be. And there are a couple more people in my organization like that. I don't know if 5 years ago I would have entertained that. That I would, if you love that, then I'm going to find the thing in my business that lets you do a whole lot of that. When you guys think about structuring like that, what comes to mind? Like when you think about job descriptions and roles, but then matching people to strength areas, what kind of challenges come up for you? Any?
Getting them up to snuff, the whole learning curve for them. Because, it's this mindset, I can do it faster myself.
Oh, yeah.
Which is dangerous.
The entrepreneur's curse, right? So all of you, there's a lot of nodding to that. Yeah. So who in this room now delegates or gives away much better than you used to? Who's improved? Okay. So who really knows you've improved? Okay, so Gina, how did you do that? Were you bad? Were you did you really hold on to stuff?
Well, because I had a person helping me who was incompetent. So I didn't trust them to do the work because I didn't want to jeopardize it being not correct.
Right.
So then I got a really good person who forced me to give it up, which now I'm afraid on the other side because I
This is who you were describing.
Yeah, and so I have completely given away that control to her, and I'm like, we are humming. God forbid she leaves me, I'm gonna be screwed. But that's, it's a well-oiled machine right now.
And what's your communication with her like? How do you guys check in on progress?
It's just open lines.
It works.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So here's the description of how do I give it away in the first place, right? I find somebody so competent that I'm almost worried what happens if I lose you, but that's just a kind of projecting into the future that, we got to give that one up. Who else here delegates better, gives away better? Is it John? Tom. How so, Tom? What have you learned that we need to know?
Trust people. And I give away as much as I can.
Love it.
But I have a staff that's very good. They've been with me for over 15 years.
Okay.
So they sort of know me.
Yeah.
They know my moods.
That's good. That's always helpful. What would you do now if you were starting now, and you wanted to be bringing people in that match strengths to what your challenges were? how would you be trusting and monitoring, I guess?
I'd probably get a virtual assistant
Mm-hmm.
and see what they could do, give them, I think monitoring is the most important thing.
Yeah.
You can't give away everything, and you have to give away pieces a little bit at a time.
Mm-hmm.
And you always have to monitor, no matter how well you know someone, you have to look
Yeah.
and check.
Yeah.
But that's just part of being an owner or manager.
Yeah. And I also love what you said about bids. Part of what I wanted to just share with you all tonight, thanks. Part of what I wanted to share was I think that if we grasp that, right, that the real advantage as a small business is that I can take my stuff apart. I can do that. I can find the things, for example, where somebody communicating terrifically with my clients is gold. It may not match an old job description. It may not be anything that we used to use. But what if I find the hunk of my business where I can set you loose like that? And then what if I decide, to your point about trust, what that gradual giving will be? In that way, all I really have to have going on all the time is an open curiosity and a question for most people, right? Which is, tell me about yourself. And so what is it you love about that? What do we do when someone asks us to talk about something we love?
You're excited.
We go crazy, don't we? Yeah, you all were kind of going nuts in here a little bit. I mean, there was a lot of conversation in the room. I don't know if you were talking about things that you love, but it felt energetic. So now when I hear somebody talk about what they love, I have a colleague who's doing some certification stuff with me. I've never met him. He's in Boston, but he loves technology and can solve things on different platforms that I've never seen done before. And now he helps me in a way that I never could have hired that out before. It's just there's almost a trading that I'm seeing happen much more naturally. But the question that I keep in mind all the time, I wrote it down so I'd be sure to tell you all. The question I keep in mind is, number one, have I broken down my top priorities, right? Do I really know what needs to be done in my business? Because if I call it, like Andrea and I talked, if I call it my CFO, well, I don't have one, but I have her, right? So she is my outsourced CFO. To Tom's point, I'm about to hire a virtual assistant who's in Boston, who comes highly recommended, and even though she's coming highly recommended, I will dish out, like you suggested, the same thing, very gradual. And the other question I keep in mind is, what strengths are ideal that I'm really looking for? And when someone shares with me something they love, right? Like you really lean in and tell me, I'm really good at this, I love this. I look now for, how does that fit in my work? Can that fit? And so far my experience is that I would have run from this 5 years ago and thought, that's way too much complication. And now I think, this is easier almost than anything that I've done, just because people are doing parts of the business that they find such joy in. So let me see if I have any last thing here that's important. Oh yeah, I just wrote, carry a strength lens. I hear somebody's getting texted, it might be me. No, it's okay, it sounds just like mine. Mm-hmm. That strength lens means, right, that I'm really looking for what you love. What is that thing? It also creates great conversation. So, now my question for you all. My invitation, I think, is as small business owners, medium-sized, or solo players like I am too, where's the opportunity in your practice or your business to identify something and start carrying a strength lens around with you, right? Looking for that person. It might even be on Craigslist. It might even be on Fiverr. It might be through a referral who I get to say, I'm looking for somebody who loves this. So I'm curious, before I head out of here, anybody thinking right now of opportunities?
I just want to clarify, is
Yeah.
the strength lens part of the strengths test? I mean...
Well, I'm calling it a strength lens because I'm thinking of it as a mindset.
Right.
So it's kind of my terminology, but to your point, I think that, are you talking about Strength Finder?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Strength Finder is a great, easy way to, there's another one that Marcus Buckingham just came out with, which is called Stand Out, which is also a book. You can find that on Amazon. Have you done it?
No, but I have seen
It's
it.
nice.
Yeah.
It's not the one that, I like Strength Finder for just trying to identify, where do people really focus well, what do they like? Standout starts to give you, though, as a leader, more articulation around, this is what I bring, here's how I can really contribute to what we're doing. So thanks for that. Yeah. So where's your opportunity? Does anybody have one? Do you know right now something in your work that you're feeling inspired to identify and look for somebody that can handle that? Who's ready to give something up? Yeah.
You already gave it all up.
Tom gave it up. He's got the people here.
Organized, yeah.
What were you going to say?
I'm totally unorganized, but the people that work for me are organized.
Yes.
Yeah.
So you have to be organized in order to give it to somebody first initially.
Yeah, but don't get too trapped there. Don't get trapped there.
Yeah, I guess.
Find people who can deal with disorder and let them. That's right. Because the way that I will sit at my computer in here and hold things made Jennifer in Dubai say, I think you're holding on to stuff. Just send me all of the junk that you have. Just send it. Because the right person will love digging through that.
Right.
Yeah, that's really good. So for those of us who procrastinate because we're going to do it a little bit better, yeah, too much time.
It's like cleaning the house before the cleaning lady.
Yes, it's exactly like that. Yeah.
I'm trying to become the correct CEO. Instead of the chief everything officer, I want to become the chief executive officer.
That's good.
And wait a minute. You want to move from, what was the first one?
Everything.
Chief
Chief
everything
Got it. Thank
officer.
you.
In other words, you're doing everything. I just want to be like at the top and delegate, and that is hard because even when you do get somebody, you got to watch over everything, and then you're afraid, that fear of like, oh, they know everything I know, now they're going to go out and do it on their own. So there's always that.
I would just say before the hook is coming, isn't it? I would just say to everybody, watch too for how much you are setting up your own ways to be out loud with your thinking, so that you've got some support kind of system, right? People that you can bounce that thinking off of. Because if I keep that stuff in my head, I get more fearful, and fear can't feed this. No, it can't, right? Tom's got his hand up.
There's too many people that feel that if they teach someone everything, that they're going to lose their job, or that they're going to be out. And I found it with people, if you teach them everything you can, if you expose them to everything, they're going to do much more for you than you ever thought they would.
Exactly.
Thank you.
But that fear is something that holds a lot of people back. In certain industries where there's people that have been doing something for 20 or 30 years, they never want the person down here to know everything they know. And it holds them back.
Yeah. Thanks. And on that note,
Well, I'm just going to add a couple of things about the ideas, and something that we experienced. Like we never thought we could afford a marketing person in our firm, because everybody in our firm, it's all about billing hours for doing accounting, and I had a lot of ideas in my head. If only I could put on a seminar. I just don't have the time, and I can't do it. And so we decided to go out on a limb and bring in a marketing coordinator. Her name is Kelly Kay, and she's sitting right there. And look what happened. Look at these. This is our 6th of 6 seminars. We never could have done it, and we have grown exponentially because of it. And so I hear a lot from my clients when we're talking about bringing in help and hiring different pieces of the business. Oh, I can't afford it. Well, I can't afford not to. I can't. I never would have. If you think you can do it all yourself, you're wrong. Nobody can, and especially if it's the stuff you don't like. And who likes doing finances? I do. My creative clients here, they're like, oh, I hate this stuff, right? So I am your CFO. You don't have to hire a CFO and have them on staff. I am your offsite CFO. So building a team doesn't mean hiring a ton of people. It means finding the right consultants for your business. So anyway, just wanted to add my little 2 cents. We're going to stop for 1 minute, or 1